At least it won't fall over. He's got a big body and small arms, this fella. So what's brought you down today?
Brought the children to see the Science Museum. It's a belated birthday present from the two friends.
So do you know anything about, how is it explained to you what you'll be doing today?
No, I've just been pulled in. We've just been asked to come in for what's written on there.
Revealing history?
Yes, yeah.
So what have you based your figure on?
I think myself.
Self-portrait in
Well, I've never really done art. Just make pastry, really. It's like making pastry, isn't it?
But your figure's going to be going on a made-up slave boat. Did you know that?
No. Right. Interesting. Yeah. Talking about that, weren't we? About the slave. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And where will that be?
That'll be on display in the museum. Yeah. But it's been an enjoyable experience for you, has it?
Yeah, it's lovely, yeah. We haven't been round really. They've been into the, what have we been into, Mary?
The Body World.
The Body World first. And then we're going to go around the museum now. We haven't been round there yet. You've been before, haven't you?
Yes. You go around, like in Africa, South Africa, we're in South Africa, you go around the slave lodges, and we went around the slave lodges, but they were quite primitive sort of figures and that, you know, from African art and that, so that's more or less what I'm trying to get a bigger, because, you know, not very artistic art, but you can follow what they were using, so it's quite relevant if this is going to go into a slave boat sort of thing, isn't it? Oh, absolutely. So, I mean, is it a subject that you know much about? No, I've been around the one in Hull and I've read up about it and brought in with apartheid in South Africa and I started reading back while we were with a friend of ours. They're very interested. It's something it is interesting subject to go into. But it's when you see the conditions they lived in and you saw the slave lodge and how they used to haul them. In fact, there was a visit that we paid up to Windermere, and there's a pub in Windermere called the Grey Walls Hotel, and there's a plaque on the wall. It said slaves was held in this cellar, previous time. I couldn't believe it really. I couldn't imagine this country just a place where we're eating and enjoying ourselves. It's people are being kept in chains below, and it just brings it home to you really, doesn't it? Like saying too. Well, funny enough, Whitehaven was one of the biggest ports for export. Yeah. I think there's a plaque in Whitehaven. I don't know if there's a pool. There was what was it called now? The chap Wilberforce. There's a slave exhibition there in the house he was. That's very good. Wilberforce. That's right. He spoke out against it, didn't he? One of the main people, MPs that fought against it. But like I said, it still took 50 odd years before it. But it's still going on now, isn't it? Unfortunately. In what respect? Well, child labour, slave labour, you could call that. In the sex trade, they just locking people away out and ruining their lives, getting young people, and so they're really in an entrapment into their slaves in their own right. So it's still going on, but it's all hidden because finance gets in the way, I think. Yeah.